Hey guys, this is Game Freak JLS here to bring you guys a video on my node setup. I just wanted to go over all my nodes and maybe help people out on how they want to kind of build their empire. So let's start to it. Okay, so far one of these nodes that I have is the Casta farm, so the grape node. Why do I have the grape node? Well, the reason why I have the grape node is to get a bunch of grapes for my essence of liqueur. So I will use grapes for essence of liqueur to build up my CP. So that grape node is kind of important. Um, Not only that, but you can also get the strawberry node. So if you guys don't know where the strawberry node is from Old Wisdom Tree, if you have the CP, I would pick up that. You'll basically get about twice as much strawberries as you will grapes. So it's a really, really good node to get. As we move down here to Velia, some of the nodes that I've picked up. I used to have the potato and corn nodes, but I actually took out CP from that because I was making so much um, wheat and grains. So I'm at the point now where I don't really need that much. I can just pick up the wheat nodes here at Northern Plantation. So one from Calpheon, pick up the wheat, and then we'll pick up these two right here, wheat and wheat. So that will provide enough that I can make beer and I can make essence of liqueur. Um, so I realized I didn't need the potato and I could save CP and use it for something else. I picked up the iron and copper node up there. I also picked up the iron and copper node right here. And some of my other ores. So we picked up the coal, the zinc, and the zinc and iron. So I basically have 4 iron nodes. The two that one was right here, Heidel, and then one over in Altanova. We also got one by Glish. So I picked up this iron node, and that'll provide enough for me to make steel crates, or I can use it for making advanced cooking utensils. So that's where all this melted iron shards are. I basically just melt the iron to make all the shards, so I can use it for either making utensils or I can use it to make steel crates. Same thing with copper. So we have a copper node, and I believe those two are the only ones I have because I have a huge stockpile of copper. Um, so I only picked up 2 of those nodes. Yeah, I have 85k. And then what I'll do with that is I will melt that and use the zinc that I get from Alta Nova and the tin that I get from Trent. So this node right here, tin ore, and right here, tin and powder of earth. I'll melt all that and make bronze and brass crates. Um, then let's see here. What others? What are some other nodes that I have? I have a lot of the tree nodes. So ash, another ash. We got a maple and yeah, the maple node. And then down here, we got another maple. We got a. Let's see, is there any more wood? Yeah, right here, another maple. And then for my Euphoria boat that I'm kind of in the process of making too, I got pine. So I picked up this node, the pine node, and then down here, connected from Trent to Mary Cave, I got another pine, and then also pine sap. A lot of the tree nodes also come with like monk's branch. We got spirit leaf and ash sap, and some other saps, red tree lump, and all that stuff, you will use for alchemy. So that is a possibility. You can use all that stuff for alchemy. This is basically where I set up my enhancing at and where I set up all my alchemy. I might end up sending it somewhere else, but I'm not. Currently, this is where I set up all my alchemy station is Velia. And then I have my cooking station in Heidel, so all my cooking mats. And then Glish is kind of where I create advanced cooking utensils, or I will stockpile a bunch of scrolls. So you're going to need a lot of pay to win slots if you want to keep all your CP. You don't have to pay to win, but it will definitely help out for stocking a bunch of stuff and being able to rotate through materials. We got Calpheon, so I create a bunch of function clothes and where I keep all my crystals at for whenever I try to make gin attempts or anything else. And then this is basically where I send all my powders to create those function clothes. So some other nodes that I have are flax. So you can get flax from Costa Farm. Currently I don't have it, but that is also a good way to getting processing up, is to process flax 3 times or 2 times. So there's flax on both of these nodes. We also have the the fleece node. So this is the only fleece node in the game, basically to make, I think, cooking clothes. Actually, let me look here real quick. We'll go to costume mill, because I kind of forget what you can use fleece for. Cotton, flax, wool. Okay, so you can make alchemy clothes, you can make processing clothes. Yeah, so for those 2 clothes, alchemy and processing, you'll want to pick up that node. So if you are interested in picking up these nodes for making costumes yourself, or you can just, I guess, use it and sell it on the market, you'll want the Lynch Ranch node, and you might want the flax nodes. And then if we go over here to tariff, we got a cotton node, so that's why I have those nodes, is for making costumes. So down here, Keplon, we got the coal node. So I collect a bunch of coal to make the steel. We got that coal node, and then also up here by Alta Nova, we got another coal node. Alright, so over in Valencia, what do we have? Alright, so I kind of have a project where I'm trying to create 10,000 Valencia meals, so I need a lot of these materials. Basically down here at Crescent Shrine, we got the date palm node. I send a worker from Sand Grain down there to get date palm, and then I am also getting nutmeg for some cooking recipes. I will collect a bunch of that, and then whenever I need teff, I will switch to teff and so forth, and just keep collecting that at the moment. And then up here we got the Freaky node, and that's also used to make teff sandwich for Valencia meals, so that's why I started collecting that. And then I'll show you. So basically what I do is I send all my lumber to Alta Nova to process. And the reason why I do that and I process in Alta Nova and I don't go process in Trent or process in Calpheon is because I had bought the processing outfit on my main character. So because I'm currently grinding Valencia mobs for scrolls, I decided to send all my materials to Alta Nova to process, so whenever I do get done and I'm about to go to sleep, I can come here to Alta Nova to process. Except right now we have a fishing event, so I have been going to Ellie's Mystical Lake to fish for the koi. So right now I still have my farms. I'm growing sunflowers, special sunflowers, and I'm still growing grapes and growing some other cooking materials uh, for all my recipes that I want to cook. Um, I moved that to Altanova also so then I can check on it, be close to everything. So basically my main area is kind of over here besides the fishing event. And then when I get done processing, I will send from Altanova all the way to Port Eufaria and transfer stuff, transfer the lumber all the way back from Trent to Port Eufaria to um, Altanova, or I will take my materials from Velia and I will transfer to um, Calpheon to Port Eufaria to Altanova if I need more logs, or I'll just take my character there and stack them and then bring the logs over to Altanova. Some other tree nodes that I have in Calpheon is all the birch nodes. So birch right there. We got a birch right there. We got a birch right here. And then we got a cedar right here. So that's all the wood nodes that I have in Calpheon. And then I also have a barley node just in case if my wheat doesn't create enough for beer, I can sit on that other grain. Over here in Port Eufaria, we have some fish nodes. So I have basically 3 fish nodes, and that'll give me a bunch of fish. And what I use this for is I will use it to make my own good feed. So basically I'm supplying my pet food. I don't ever have to buy any on the market. I'm supplying my beer. Don't ever have to buy that on the market. So this empire is very efficient when it comes to making your own supplies. I won't run out. Over here in Trent, we basically picked up the cedar and fir nodes. So there's a fir, there's a cedar. I still need, I'm promoting a worker, so there's another fir. We got 10 fir, cedar, and then of course I got these 2. We got ghost mushrooms and pine timber. So some alchemy right there, and for my boat. Down here in Grana, so this is where I make my crates. So my empire is kind of around crates. I'm currently making, I ran out of steel, so now all the bronze that I processed, we're making bronze crates. And then I will eventually, once this runs out, I'll switch to brass, and then hopefully by that time I will have more steel processed. And then same thing with cedar, fir, birch. I will process that and process ash and maple. So basically everything I do, I process. The only thing I don't have to process is the sunflowers, so I will collect those from my farms and transfer them all the way to Grana, so then I can make sunflower crates. Then what I will do is whenever I decide I want to turn in my crates, I will uninvest all my points out of my farms for that day, and I will connect everything from Grana all the way to Valencia for the buff. Oh yeah, I also missed this node. So we got a coconut node too, which I'm going to be using for cooking also. And then I may later on down the road use palm timber for trash crates if I want to. So that's currently kind of my node setup right now. So if you guys wanted to know my node setup, that's currently what I'm doing. It's pretty much collecting or processing every day, every night before I go to sleep. And then whenever I'm active, if I'm not cooking or I'm not doing anything, I will grind. And then same thing with processing, basically just processing any materials that I can make into plywood, into crates. So yeah, If you guys have any questions, you can leave a comment below. Also, okay, so before I forget, I also had picked up Glish Ruins for Trace of Origin. We have the Trace of Savagery. We have the Trace of Battle and Trace of Forest, and those are also used for costumes, and these two are used for alchemy. Same thing with Ancient Stone Chamber. It's also used for alchemy. So I have a lot of materials for cooking, for alchemy, and for crates. That's how my empire is. And some extra things that I have is I leveled up Crescent Node. Currently leveling up Centaurs, and I have Bandits level 10 right now. If you guys have any questions, again, leave a comment below. If this helped you out and showing you how you could maybe build your empire, it all just depends on what you want to do in BDO. We also have the cooking honey node, and I have the pumpkin node for cooking materials. So yeah, that's my empire. If you guys like the video, hit like, subscribe. If you have any questions, again, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.